Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Pro Wrestling Report. Be the Booker, David.
Yes.
We are doing Be the Booker for TNA Bound for Glory, which is tomorrow night on pay-per-view.
BTB BFG?
BTB BFG, and I think it's worth crediting, especially after your behavior on Feedback Friday, that we are doing a Be the Booker for TNA pay-per-view.
I have no problem with TNA pay-per-views. They don't have many of them. So when we do them, I enjoy the fact that we do them. Let's hope this one comes off.
Well, let's do them. And what happens on this show, ladies and gentlemen, is we take the card.
If this doesn't happen, I still get paid, right?
Yes, as it has been delivered, and we fantasy book the show. So this guy takes the pencil, if you will, and he determines who will win, who will lose, if he were the one booking the show. And with that, David Hero, the first matchup to look at is for the Knockouts Championship. It will be Gail Kim versus Maria Kanellis.
And Gail Kim, of course.
Gail Kim going into the Hall of Fame.
Tonight, right?
Yep.
Wait, no, Sunday.
That would be tonight. They have the Hall of Fame dinner on Saturday, I believe.
Well, I don't think everyone's going to be there. So let's just see what happens. But you got to believe with Gail Kim going into the Hall of Fame, well-deserved Hall of Fame inductee, Gail Kim against Maria Kanellis. I never would have thought that Gail Kim versus Maria Kanellis would be for the Knockouts title. That being said, it's almost a no-brainer. You got to believe Gail Kim is going to defeat Maria and leave the Hall of Fame Knockouts champion.
Doesn't she have to?
Well, it would make the most sense because if she loses to Maria Kanellis, I think it knocks her down a peg or two as far as Hall of Fame status.
Oh, so you're just erasing now.
I'm deleting. It's a TNA pay-per-view.
Next matchup is for the all-new TNA Grand Championship. It is Aaron Rex taking on Drew Galloway. One of these men will walk out with the new, unique, and revolutionary TNA Grand Championship.
So Aaron Rex, formerly known as Damian Sandow, pay-per-view match.
Yes.
TNA Impact Wrestling.
Yes.
Drew Galloway, who's been a stud for them for the last year.
Absolutely. Former champion, former world champion.
You got to ask yourself this. If you are TNA booking, do you bring in Aaron Rex to defeat your former world champion, to defeat the guy that's been headlining a lot of your shows over the last year? Or do you go with the guy that has been good business for you?
Let me remind you of your first part of that question. You said if you're TNA booking.
Right, but I'm booking this thing. I delete Aaron Rex. Delete. Drew Galloway is the first ever grand champion. It makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Let Aaron Rex claw, scratch, and fight, come up short, and have a good program going forward. If Drew Galloway does not leave the grand champ, that's bad business.
Smart, David Hero. Well, in a heralded matchup, much heralded matchup, one that will be no holds barred and falls count anywhere.
Yes.
It is the Decay taking on the Broken Hardys in a tag team matchup in the ring live at Bound for Glory.
Crazy Steve, Abyss.
My dear close personal friend Abyss.
Against the Broken Hardys. Don't
forget Maxwell.
There is nobody better than Broken Matt Hardy right now.
Nobody.
He is a phenomenal character. Jeff, after his rebirth last week or 2 weeks ago, has been nothing short of sensational. I did not think the Hardys in 2016 would be as good as they are. It's almost like Mankind when he became the comedy act. It slows things down, makes it better. They added a few more years to their career.
They were never characters. And now they're characters.
No, and just because I don't like Abyss, I'm deleting Decay, and the Hardys will be victorious at Bound for Glory.
Is that too obvious?
Well, the Hardys aren't going to lose 2 in a row to Decay.
Okay.
So yes, it's obvious.
You know, before we get to the World Heavyweight Championship matchup, David, here I want to talk about 2 things. Firstly, we know DJ Z is going to be defending the X Division Championship against an unknown opponent.
Could be Cody Rhodes.
Would you? Because that was my next question: is what is Cody Rhodes' role? Cody Rhodes will be debuting tomorrow night at Bound for Glory for TNA Impact Wrestling. But what role will he play?
What would you do if it was Cody Rhodes versus DJ Z? Who would you cheer for? You like both guys.
That one's tricky. I'd probably have to go for Cody.
See, if I book that match, I make it like Rick Martel and Shawn Michaels. You can't punch either guy in the face.
Why not?
They should play off the thing that they're both too pretty. Dashing Cody
Dashing
Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
DJZ, he's a ladies'
Well,
man.
he wears that mask gimmick.
Yes.
So maybe just
and
wears
Cody
the
wore a mask also.
Oh, mask versus. Maybe it's all right there in front of us again.
Loser has to unmask.
That'll take a lot to get to over the course of that night on the pay-per-view
Hey,
show. But I don't think
they might have time.
They haven't said Cody's wrestling. I don't think Cody needs to wrestle at Bound for Glory.
Gotcha. Oh, he should.
Rockstar Spud?
I could see. Imagine if it was a three-way with those three guys.
Then DJZ would have a difficult time retaining that championship
I
coming
agree.
out of Bound for Glory.
But let's face it, people are buying this pay-per-view if they're buying it at all to see the TNA World
Why
Impact.
do you do that? Why? Why do you do that? Why do you have to do that? You know what you just did. People are buying this pay-per-view if they're buying it at all.
Well, they might not be buying it. Okay. What was the ratings on TNA? 185,000 people?
No, well over 300,000 people.
Was it 300?
Yes.
So 300,000 people tuned in to watch TNA Impact Wrestling.
Yes.
You want to hope for at least 10% of your audience to buy your pay-per-view.
3,000 people.
Do you think?
What's that math? You want to get your calculator out? I'm intrigued. $49.99 times. I think they're charging $50 now. I think it is $49.99.
Well, then no one's going to buy it. Who's going to pay
core
$50?
Audience will buy it. Look, these matches can sell the show.
I bet they don't have 1,200 buys at $50 a piece.
Fine, okay.
It's a struggle.
Okay.
What match here would you pay to see?
The Broken Hardys versus the Decay will be very entertaining. I would pay to see Cody Rhodes' debut because I'm intrigued as to what they would do with that.
Are you going to buy the pay-per-view on Sunday?
I have to because I've got to maintain my journalistic integrity.
Okay, so I'll come over and watch at your house.
You're no longer permitted. Do you know what you did last time you came over? I had to file an insurance claim.
Well, get stronger chairs next time. Bobby Lashley, EC3. A year ago, this would have been a great match. I think EC3 has been damaged as a babyface for the last year.
As a babyface, because he's a better heel.
He's a way better heel. Bobby Lashley has been dominating. He's been the stud. You got the two biggest stars in the company in this match. You got to believe EC3 should leave as the TNA World Impact Heavyweight Champion. But you almost got to give it to Lashley. Why do you build up Bobby Lashley as strong as you have to then lose?
Moose is in a match, which we're not talking about here, but he's had some challenges with Lashley in the past, recent past.
They can't have a screw job. They can't have a screw job finish for the world title.
They've done it at many a Bound for Glory.
But they can't do. They can't afford, no pun intended, to do it now. You know, it's your little smart-ass laughs that get these people riled up.
It's the words you choose to use.
It's just what's in my mind.
No pun intended. Yes.
We're talking about affording things. This is a tough match for me. It really is.
That's a good thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder where. Oh, you know, and then there's the Bound for Gold match.
Yes.
We can't book that because we don't know anyone that's going to be in it.
Right.
Bobby Lashley, EC3. I got to go with EC3. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a match of the night with these two guys. Bobby Lashley is a stud, a bona fide stud. EC3, if they're going to rebrand, I go with Lashley or EC3. You can't go wrong with either one. Both are charismatic guys.
Yep.
Both look the part. Both look like world champions. But EC3 has been stuck in neutral for a year. It's time for him to get his heat back and become the TNA World Impact Heavyweight Champion.
That's so innocent, people!
I think it would be irresponsible if we didn't do this, David Hero. But Bound for Glory, this is airing on Saturday.
Yes.
We're taping it prior to any deal being announced to continue the broadcast and to continue the company.
Well, I get paid
after
regardless
Friday.
if this happens or not, right?
So, again, these are facts, folks, based on comments from the president of the company. This weekend shows are in jeopardy financially. He could save them, but he would rather get a long-term investor into the company. Other fact is that other companies have talked to TNA about purchasing their company. Sinclair Broadcasting, owner of Ring of Honor Wrestling. World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, has as well. Could we have a March 21st, 2001 moment like we had on Nitro in Daytona Beach, Florida, Sunday at Bound for Glory? And if so, what would they do? Because I've got...
Bring out Linda.
Okay, to do what?
Well, you can't
She's
use
a Republican
Shane.
heavyweight right now, actually, by the way. I'm not knocking her. She's actually one of the biggest fundraisers for the Republican Party right now. Not running for anything, but just fundraising.
You know what? I don't know what you would do. I mean, they're not going to show up in front of 600 people on a pay-per-view that no one's going to watch. You can't simulcast anything.
They could.
How?
Put it on the network.
Last minute?
Talk about getting some, if they want to keep the company going, if they were to buy the company, talk about some buzz, the biggest buzz that the company would ever have. Bigger than signing Hulk Hogan, bigger than signing Ric Flair, bigger than signing Kurt Angle, bigger than signing Jeff Hardy. You're right, they don't need it. You're right, they don't need it.
Billy Corgan goes away.
You're right, they don't need it. You're absolutely right, they don't need it. But what if they did? Let's just play in Fantasyland for a little while. Let's go on over to Fantasyland for a moment. What if they did? What would you do if you were Vince McMahon and you found a reason in your mind to buy this company and you owned it come tomorrow night at Bound for Glory? What would you do on air?
I don't know. I really do. It's such
What
a
would you do?
shattered brand.
But what would you do on Sunday, not Monday? On Sunday, what would you do?
I'd bring up Paul Heyman and say, here you go.
Let him do his own thing.
Here's your
and just fund him, like they did with ECW. David, that's brilliant.
But he can't take Brock because he'd kill everybody there.
Well, he kills everybody in WWE too, so yeah.
But think about it. I mean, look at all the guys that then wouldn't have a job.
No, but not with what the scenario you just said. Just here, Paul Heyman, take it, make this something, bring it up, and he could do that. Then all these guys do still have a
Or
job.
maybe Shane does it.
He should see with SmackDown.
Shane's not that happy in SmackDown.
It would be another revenue. It could be another revenue stream for the company. It could be another revenue stream.
You
for
already
the company.
have NXT touring. All that
could
money
be
is
another
allocated
revenue
to
stream for the company.
NXT.
Okay, so fine. Perhaps they come on board. They do what they do. They give it to Paul Heyman. Somebody makes an on-air appearance on Sunday, and then they just blow it up.
Yeah.
It's a 2-week storyline because there's still some kind of contract with Pop TV. There's still some kind of international
Pop's
contracts
not
they need
paying
to
them
honor.
for anything.
Correct, but there's still an agreement there where obviously they would need to provide talent. They still have these in-demand deals that they have for the one-night stands or one-night onlys or whatever pay-per-views they're doing. So they still have some obligations.
Okay, I get that. But if they can't fulfill those promises, what are they going to sue them for? The DVDs in the warehouse? The Pope sunglasses they still got in the warehouse?
I think that, again, this is all speculative based on facts that are out there right now. But I think that your scenario is quite fantastic. I think that, talk about buzz in the wrestling industry. If a WWE face showed up at Bound for Glory and said, I now own my competition, or said, I'm dissolving my competition, this company sucks, it's always sucked, it's gone. Either way, big news story, big pop for WWE if they were to do that.
For a week.
Then they've gotten get what their value is out of it then.
Well, yeah, they want the library, and they need it because they got AJ Styles as their top guy.
But look at these talents, including the ones you deleted. Many of them could assimilate incredibly well back into WWE, but many of them don't want to be. Gail Kim doesn't want to be. I wouldn't imagine.
Oh, Matt and Jeff would love to go back.
Yeah. Well, Aaron Rex, he's bitter. I mean, they'd let him go.
I don't think Drew Galloway wants to
So
go.
is he the one that gets the Jeff Jarrett treatment from McMahon, Aaron Rex? You know, J.E. Double Gone?
Could be. But
You don't like this at all because
No.
you know it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen, but you don't like it at all. And that's
It's like
putting a wall up
no,
between
It's like putting a
creatively figuring
it's
out
like
how they can make this
putting
work.
a square into a round, a square peg into a round circle. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. It's not needed.
But it's an opportunity. Why'd they buy WCW?
Because the price was right.
Why'd they buy ECW?
It was in bankruptcy court. Bro, I hate
I'm
to
giving
say
you every
it.
reason why they should, and you are...
No, they buy it for the tape library. That's
Great,
it.
but they got to, if they own it on, that's fine, if they do that. If they own it on Sunday, which ain't going to happen legally, by the way. I don't see how any contracts or anything could be pinned to paper that quickly. Let's say maybe they do float them alone.
But why would you do that? There's no reason.
Maybe floating them that loan gets them the tape library.
So they
TNA can't do anything with their own tape library.
No.
Meaning they don't have the marketing power behind them to do anything with the assets that they have.
I agree.
So why not use that as the collateral to keep the company going?
So they sell them the tape library and start from scratch.
Sell them the tape library, use the investment that is made for that library to sustain the
So
company
then they
going forward.
lose everything from Saturday back.
Maybe it's a year ago back. Who knows? But what are they going to do with it anyways?
I agree. Nothing. Because they can't afford to do it. They've tried to do it and they've all been returned.
It's opportunities. It's exciting.
It is
We'll
exciting.
see what happens. None of it probably will.
Let's
That
see
we
if
just
anything
talked about
happened
on
here.
Sunday, but
Nope, hasn't happened yet.
but we'll see
not
what
gonna
happens.
happen.
It's Be the Booker Sunday, Bound for Glory tomorrow on pay-per-view. Let's look at what he has did as it pertains to this show. Gail Kim deletes Maria. Drew Galloway deletes Aaron Rex and becomes a new TNA Grand Champion. The Broken Hardys delete the Decay.
Yes.
And TNA World Heavyweight Champion Bobby Lashley is deleted by EC3, Ethan Carter III, in the big matches tomorrow night at Bound for Glory. Are you going to order the pay-per-view?
Not for $50.
40?
I'd rather just come to your house.
Folks, that is Be the Booker, ladies and gentlemen, and one more episode of our programming coming tomorrow. It's PWR Battle of the Brands. We look at the weekly battle between Raw and SmackDown, and which show you, the fans, viewed and voted as the best. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time.
You
for
always
that
paint
one,
me in a corner. Every week.
I believe I gave you a great opportunity to speculate on something that likely will not happen for the purpose of giving something beneficial to the wrestling fans.
Wow, so they can
I
criticize
think your Paul
me?
Heyman idea was great.
Yeah.
No one's going to criticize that. I probably should disclaim this, right?
Yes.
Because these are speculations based on the fact that the TNA president, Billy Corgan, said that they need an investor by Friday to continue their programming over the course of the weekend. He could be that investor, but he wants a more long-term investor to make sure the company is preserved for the next 20 years, not just through the weekend, because he did that for Slammiversary. Those are the words that
What
came out
if
of the
Trump
TNA
buys it?
president's mouth. He's busy right now.
But he could do it. He's worth
could.
$8 billion.
Could. Would he borrow that money from the Chinese banks too?
I would. The Chinese economy is going to tank.
Have you paid any federal taxes recently?
I have
Or are you
extensions.
smart?
Well, I'm not that smart. Think about it. Trump is brilliant because the Chinese economy is going to crash eventually.
You know how much money we, the government, the United States, owe the Chinese?
Yes.
Billions of dollars.
Yeah, so when their
Because we
economy
get loans
crashes,
from them to maintain our country.
when their economy crashes, we can buy back our loans pennies on the dollar.
Folks, this has been Be the Booker. Thank you very much for joining us on this very longer journey than we planned on it being. But
You
good
are so
discussion.
long-winded again.
For that one, I am Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow on Battle of the Brands.